All right, Education Minister Angie Motshekga is addressing some of the top achievers at a breakfast in Gauteng. Let's go there now live.
Mrs. are here. Our business partners who really help us immensely in this very challenging task that we have. Members of the media also, thank you very much for coming to assist us in the communication. But more important, and the reason why we have this breakfast, it's our learners. You really make us proud. Good morning, my children. Morning, ow. You really make our work very meaningful. You know, I always say, program director, one of the best things about our jobs is that you're not short of advice. Each time I go to shops, I go to whichever shops, the teller is advising me on what we should be doing in education. A person helping me with the groceries we drive to the car is advising me about what we should do in education. So it's really one sector that attracts the attention of everybody. So that it's what we, and our children should know that it's what we eat, what we dream, everybody. And that's how important this achievement is to us as a nation, to us as the department, but to us as a country. So I really want to thank you, but more important, to thank the parents. Our children, without your support, sometimes are weakened. So thank you very much for making the time. Thank you very much for leaving your work and supporting our children again. Because indeed, these children always make us extremely proud. And they keep our hopes. And sometimes when people, why don't you think about this, Minister, and say if they knew that we eat, drink. The first thing I think about in the morning, it can't be anything else about what more can you do to improve the education, what more can you do to make our children's lives. And some people even ask me, how do you sleep when there's problems with infrastructure? How do you sleep with your conscience? And Minister said, I don't actually sleep because if that's what you want to hear. Because we eat, drink, anything, everything that we live for. And as we heard from the program director, I don't know anything else. Maybe, I don't know anything else but education in my life. I'm a child of a teacher, so we spoke school. She dragged me with her to school because I'm sure there were no crashes at the age of 5, so her mother was a teacher. And her father, so it's the fourth generation of teachers, so my great-grandfather was a teacher. So it's really a family of teachers, so it's really our lives. And you really give meaning to our lives the way you succeed. So thank you very much. The program director has said, and even our last speaker, there's only 30 of you here. It says a lot. Okay. Only 30. Out of more than 700 students that wrote exams. So I think for that we have to really express our gratitude. I know you don't have your results, but at least the cat is out of the bag. You can't be a top 30 if you have not passed that. So that's the obvious part of it all again. And it means you've passed extremely well. You can't be number 30 out of 700,000 if you have not passed extremely well. So they don't have their results yet, so they have nothing to show even to the neighbors. We'll only give them the results this evening, but they know they are the creme de la creme of the country. They are the best that the country has produced. You are the best of the best. You are the pride of the nation. That's why we brought you here. You really are a pride, and we're very proud of you. We're very grateful and appreciative that you've really become the young people that you are, because you really are our hopes now. Program director, one of my neighbors comes from Dendron. And since I was minister for the past 10 years, Dendron has never failed to send a learner in the top 30, never. So I'm not sure if the principal has not come. Where's the principal of Dendron? Maybe he didn't come this time. The other year, he even he had his own child in the top 30, the principal of Dendron. His own child went to his school, and he was a top learner at his school. And what encourages us with some of the schools, and many of them, that they really hold their own under very difficult conditions. When I visited Dendron, I was even doubting if the drivers knew where we were going. Because it's deep rural, and there were goats, and I said, hey, this man doesn't, there's no school that can produce this 100% consistently, bachelors consistently. They don't cream learners. They don't cream. Any child who presents themselves get admitted. They only do meds. They have 100% pass consistently. In the deep rural, and honestly, I wanted to say, did you get the directions of where we are going? Because it seems now we're going to the middle of nowhere. There is no way you can get this gem from this environment. And this is what our schools are doing, and this is what our parents are doing, supporting children. But more important, this is what our principals and teachers are doing. So I'll speak to your principal and other people. We have hazy view. And I know our problems with this late infrastructure. I have to go and take tents to KZN next week because the storm wiped off a number of schools during December. The construction industry was on holiday. It's opening on the 13th. They will open schools on the 15th. And when they come here with bright eyes, they'll be expecting classrooms. So we're speaking to the army to say, give us something. But let me speak to these learners here. And I think because really it's not so much to make it a formal meeting, but to express our gratitude, our appreciation, and congratulate you and your families and your schools for really making us this proud. Because we're a very big system. Make no mistake, we're a very big system. We have more than 12 million learners in more than 26,000 schools. And what is gratifying is that South African parents, right, rich and poor, continue to have confidence in the public schooling system because of your performances. Because if we're not doing this well, no one would really trust that we're able to do the work that we can do. So we're very grateful that in the public system, difficult as it is, poor infrastructure as we have, you still manage to to climb the Kilimanjaro and really be on the top of it. Because you're really at the peak. You've really climbed and climbed and climbed. And for us, because this is the end of the road between us and yourselves, you're at the peak of it all. And for that, we're very grateful. But as Nelson Mandela once said, that after climbing a great hill, one finds that there are many more hills to climb. So as you proceed with your lives, you should know that we're watching you with very hawkish eyes for you to take this country to a higher level. Because we are our national assets. I like one of the posts here which says, our children are our national assets. So we're celebrating you as the country's assets, which are going to take us and the country to a different level, because you really have proven that you are on top, so you're going to pull all of us up. We don't have to panic about the fourth industrial revolution, because here the people are going to drive it. So we're not panicking. We are the ones who are going to take us there as a country. We have the best, we have brilliant kids, we have dedicated kids. Is that not so? So we're not intimidated, because we have you. We don't feel you're going to be left behind, because we have your caliber of learners who are going to really drive that. Those jobs that we still don't know about, you're going to be the ones that are computing those jobs. Is that not so? How? Yes, ne? Again. What about like workers suit? I read time before the Industrial Revolution again. You are there. You are going to take us there. So I really want to really spend this time to congratulate you, to thank you most sincerely because we represent the more than 700,000. You're not even making a fraction. You represent more than 700,000 learners who sat for these exams. And you've been able to select you as 30 top learners in the country. That's what you are. And I can't preach to yourself. You know how you did it. I listened to some of you in the interviews. And I always tell learners when I visit schools to say they should not mislead themselves. You know, towards exams, we have prayers for matriculants. But none of my learners, HOD program director, once told me that, Mom, I've done well. I prayed day and night. They never say this. They say, I prayed day and night. Or I went to some person who can see through the seeds of time, and this is how it worked out. They gave me this ointment. All of them say the ointment is hard work. Right? And these are the messages I normally take to schools to say, our top learners, don't tell me any story. If I was your age, I was listening, because you only listen to winners. So the things, your lives, your activities also inform and enrich our experiences even as adults. Your consistent answer to say it was through hard work, through dedication, through humility. There's humility also because sometimes we're adults, must we have the right to shake up things and shake up people and upset it's mostly our children who have the right, don't we? In that field of human rights, but we have the right. But if you're a humble child, you understand good Mom, and you say, but there's no basis, but yeah, life has to go on. And thank you very much because you couldn't be here if you were not respectful, humble children, dedicated, and very hardworking children. We've seen them in their colors, Tina. You even see when they walk to say, way, here's trouble. Was talking with my neighbor to say, even the demeanor of the kids I'm sitting with, you can see that these are children whose, not only have they acquired the best results, but they have been shaped, because that's what it is. They've been shaped. I mean, I'm really enjoying with the company that is on my table. As you interview, you can see that they've been developed holistically. There's humility, there's respect. You have been saying there's hard work, but also the roundedness of just having the human rights culture that we want, of really being caring children that you can be. So you've espoused values of hard work, of honesty, of truth. And if you're not honest, you could have been cribbling and don't think we don't catch you. Sibabamba must sing, and it breaks my heart when I have to tell them that they can't write exams for 2 years, because that's what the sanction is. And sometimes they never even have the chance to recover and come back. I was even saying to DGI, we have to do something, maybe they have to do manual work, but 2 years sanction for a young child. But I'm not saying that people should. Integrity also, humility and selflessness. So I think, as the previous speaker has said, that as you go to institutions of higher learning, we're not bringing you here, there's no free breakfast. We're bringing you to commit you that you are the best that there is in the country. Please give us the best even where we are going, because we need the best skills as a country to go to the levels we want to. So that's what we brought you here for, to say, let's agree. You've proven to be the best. So when you go there, don't be the best party man, but be the best intellectual. Because as a country, we need those skills. We need the high-level skills to take us out of some of the quagmire that we find ourselves. The scum is going down. Anytime the lights can go. But I'm always very hopeful, very optimistic, because I'm dealing with the assets of this country, which is its people, that we will overcome. And we'll only overcome through you. Not through money, through anything, through complaint, through negativity, nothing. Through the skills that we are going to bring to the fore. So you are going to be our engineers, you are going to be our doctors, you are going to be specialists, you are going to be academics. So I know on an ongoing basis as a country we are growing our timber. And this is the timber which is going to save us. So we're not going to go down as a country when you have people like yourselves. So we brought you here simply to come and commit you. To say at the top of the so that we don't beat around the bush to say, what does the minister want us now? We have passed. We are saying we've invested our hearts, our hopes, our trust in you. Please don't let it down. Please don't let us down. We're looking for even bigger things from yourselves. So that's what the breakfast is all about, parents. Nothing else. They could come in the evening, but I just thought, we can't have your top learners and then we see them on stage, we give them certificates. We must commit them as a country. Is that not so? We must commit them as parents to say we're putting our hopes in you. And as we are preparing ourselves to really announce the results in the evening, I can say your class is a class of its own. We're very proud from the analysis of results that your top schools are holding themselves. Your school, for instance, consistently, it's one of the best schools in the country. And we're very proud that they continue to hold themselves there. Because we don't want them to go down. Because the very children they serve are the very children who have to serve this country. But we're also very encouraged that our schools servicing the poor are coming up to the party. And it's not only our efforts, it's the contributions of companies like yours that really help us to push, to ramp up from the bottom. And we are beginning to see the signs that the bottom is shaking and every child is not left behind. Because that's our principle, that we don't want any child to be left behind. Children servicing or school servicing or the best school servicing, your affluent should hold themselves. We don't want them to go anywhere. Because those are the nation's children. They should stay there. The schools at the bottom should go up. So that we close the gap between the poor and the rich. We were able as a country to benefit from all the talents of this country, from every community. And as we announce the results in the evening, we'll be able to celebrate that. But they told I'm a teacher. When we're teachers, we even have double periods. So it means we can speak on and repeat the things we have said. It's part of teaching. I get to reinforce the message. So when I reinforce, you should know it's a teacher addressing you. And the teacher is saying to the young people who are here, the 30 of you, thank you very much for being the children that you have been. You've really reached, for us in the system, the peak of what we would have expected or wished for every child. And for that we are grateful, for that we are appreciative, but for that we are hopeful. That's a big one. We are hopeful that bigger things are going to come. I'll meet you in hospitals, say, Minister, I'm your new oncologist, and so that's what we want from you now. I want to meet you in the aeroplane as a pilot to say, let me welcome my minister being a pilot again. That's what we want from you. And that's why we are giving this breakfast. So as we eat the breakfast, you should know you are eating the commitment that we want from you. That will remain on top. You'll be the best children that you are. You'll continue to be humble. You'll continue with integrity. You'll continue to be selfless. But know that as the country, we also are putting our hopes on your abilities. So even when you go to universities, when you get tempted, say, hey, Vodacom, breakfast, I committed that I'll be the best. I have to remain there. Nothing less. Is that not so, Michael? Nothing less. They're not going to give us anything less than that. So parents, have you heard that? But thank you very much for the support. They will not have made it on their own without the love, the support, and the care that you would have given them. This is also, I think, a fruit of your labor. Some of the learners come with, very nice story, some of the learners come with guardians. I was sharing with Nolita, one of the learner who came with an uncle, I think 2 years back from KZN. And the uncle just didn't know what to do maybe. And I was not sure how this kid got the motivation, but all the same, he was one of the top learners. And he was raised by an unemployed uncle. They were staying there, so the uncle didn't want nonsense. He didn't want him out. And all he decided that now that I'm staying with this tyrant, I might just as well as read. That's what he told me. He says, if you go out, you ask questions. So I thought I must just sit down and read, because if you go out, there's no peace. So his peace brought him good results. It brought him, at 30 of you, I'm sure bursaries will be competing over who to support. Ne? In the previous years, we had some learners who really found that, I'm sure, lack of self-confidence, had not applied for bursaries, didn't get some. So here's Ntatemueli, he's very connected. So if you have reached that stage and you are in the top 30, speak to the boss there. There is no way any of you can go wasted, nothing. Ne? You are too few and too valuable. Just know that you are a rare species, highly valuable, and please take us with you. As a country, I'm not saying take us with you to a brighter future, be the champions, and remain the best that you are. And thank you very much, parents, again. Thank you very much, really, for supporting our children. Let me thank yourselves. In the evening, we'll thank teachers. And I was proud when most of the young learners were saying, teachers, teachers, teachers. Those people carry the system. Tina, we just come and talk, Tina. Says khulumela nje. Sibeki wesizathi. Which was khulume. Otherwise, the work belongs to teachers. And to them, we really want to salute and thank them most sincerely for making us proud as a nation. But you are the pride of the nation. Again. Launza Maya, angitini pambi, but you walk tall. Nazuguti, you are the pride of the nation. We're very proud of you. We're very grateful. You really make our work worthwhile. You make our existence meaningful. You make the big taxes that South African pays into education also worthwhile. So thank you very much. We love you all.
Yeah. Ma'am, before you go, I want to, because there's this...
Well, we're coming out of the breakfast in Midrand in Johannesburg.